just makes me play better, obviously, when you have confidence. So just having these guys around me and the work I put in, just make sure both.
All right, this is for both. My bad, but this is for both of y'all. When I came into Purdue as a freshman, I just thought winning was what we were supposed to do. Like we had Etwan, JJ, Robbie, and those dudes. I thought going back to the tournament was just going to happen. What have you guys inserted into the freshmen? This must not be an easy ride.
Yeah, I think that's not the case. That you got to put the work in. That there is highs and lows to it. It's not just all green grass ahead. It's rough days. It's hard work too. Like in the summer, you're not just going to show up and start playing right away. You got to put the work in. You got to prove your game.
Trey, you've always felt like the process of when you were a freshman, you were the liability to the team, and now all of a sudden you're looked at as you're the ones that are leading this team and making the decisions and making this team kind of go forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a jump coming from high school to college, so that's for everybody. So definitely for me and Fletcher, just trying to figure that out and getting our role. I thought we did a really good job coming in, and we worked our butts off, and I think we got what we deserved. And I feel like now, with where we've been and all the work we've put in, I think everything's starting to fall into place. And I think us understanding that and being through every situation, we understand what it takes and how to get back to where we want to go and how to help these younger guys do that as well.
Braden, you've always seemed like a guy who's fueled by disrespect. You're going to be preseason player of the year. You're on the number one team in preseason. You get all America stuff. How hard do you have to look now for disrespect?
Yeah, I mean it's still gonna come either way, and I think it's just a preseason thing. Like that's not my goal. I don't want to be the preseason. I want to be at the end of the year. So I think for me, it's just keep putting my head down and keep working and keep just being the best leader I can for these guys and the best player I can for this team.
Fletcher, how important is it to make him mad?
Well, I think, like you said, it's just a ranking. We haven't believed in rankings since the day we started getting ranked. So I think just continue to put that work in, whether it's good things or bad things people say about you. It's out there, and we know it, and we just want to win basketball games.
Brady, do you have to dig for that edge in a different way these days?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you have to dig for that edge in a different way than you did coming in as a freshman? Like you have to find it in yourself as opposed to maybe being outwardly motivated.
No, I feel like just me as a person, that's just who I am. I feel like I always have something to prove, and I hold myself to perfection, and I like to be perfect in everything I do. So when it's not that, when I miss a shot, when I turn it over, when I'm not a good teammate, when I'm not this and that, I like to hold myself to the highest standard possible. So I get on myself for that, and then it comes with the disrespect that people throw out there, whatever they have to say, and that's just like added motivation. But at the end of the day, like I think it's just who I am, and I've always been that way of just always proving people wrong and playing with the chip on my shoulder.
Zach, how significantly will your style of play change as
Yeah, I think it'll change a little bit, but ultimately we're still playing Purdue basketball. We're still playing together. We're still playing as a team. Yeah, we'll probably get to take more shots, get to have it in our hands a little bit more, but ultimately you still got the same point guard. You still got the guy that's one of the best passers in college basketball. So I think when you got guys like that and you got TK down low, it's still Purdue basketball. It's still Coach Painter and PJ calling the offensive plays. So just trusting one another and making sure we're clicking.
Does this defense change without Zach back there? Just like maybe rim protector, but like also just those urge shots, right? Like you didn't want to shoot them.
Yeah, no, it definitely changes. Obviously, like for us guards, like we gotta keep our man in front of us a lot better. Just not being able to let guys go and hope for a prayer they make it over Zach. But we definitely been working on that, been trying to get better on the defensive end, me, myself personally, and along with our team. So we're definitely working towards that and becoming better individual defenders.
We've heard stories about your work ethic in the offseason. Like year one, your pull-up jumper wasn't good. Year two, your pull-up jumper was one of the best in the country. What's that next step for you through that? What's something you've been really working on?
Honestly, just trying to be a better leader. I think just being more vocal and figuring out different ways how to communicate with different teammates. I'm not great at it. Fletcher can tell you that, Coach Payne can tell you that, everybody can tell you that, but I'm working at it, and I think that's just the biggest thing. And when it comes to basketball, I think just being consistent. Like I've always shot mid-range jump shots coming in my freshman year, last year, this year. Like it's always been something I've done. It's just the looks that the defense gives you sometimes that more shots can be open than other. But it's just the same stuff, just being consistent.
the post is a really important decision-making position for you guys. What have you guys seen from Trey's decision-making and passing?
Trey's been really
Moving
good.
into that role.
Yeah, Trey's been really good. He's always had a rule so of all the Purdue bigs. If you're 1-on-1, go score the ball. If you get double passes, so he's gotten a lot better at reading the double teams, where they're coming from, and where guys will be on the opposite end of the floor or come ball side. But I think ultimately he's just gotten more familiar with it. Obviously, Zach getting a lot of the post touches. Now Trey's getting more. He's become more familiar with who he has to pass to and where he has to look to find those guys.
It's the way his mind moves. I mean, is he a quick decision maker? Like, can he process things quickly? He's always got to think about things.
Yeah, I'd like to consider him not a quick thinker in general, but when it comes to basketball, he makes quick plays. He makes quick decisions. It's not, oh shoot, Trey's getting doubled, we got to go help him. It's Trey's going to find me because he's a good passer out of the post.
Braden, has he been involved with stuff?
Yeah, I think it just gives us a different look because he's more of a short roll guy, and he's just quick with it. So if I'm able to hit him on that short roll, he's able to shoot that little running hook or make a move, do a spin move, get to the basket and score. I mean, just having that instead of just a flip up every time, which it worked a decent amount of the time, but just having a different look definitely makes the defenders have to choose what to do. Because if they're going to help in, then we have to kick out outside to one of our guys that can shoot the three, or we have him one-on-one with the big.
The screen setting can go on. I mean, Zach was arguably the best screen setter in the country, probably the best in the draft too. Like, how's the screen setting going just from all of the different bigs?
Yeah, I think it's getting there. I think Daniel's young, and in high school he got out of a lot of things. He rolled to the rim and was able to get those flip-ups to dunk. So we're definitely working on that. But TK and all those other guys are starting to figure it out, starting to set it and understand that when they set it, it makes their guy help. And then it gives them an open lane or open flip up, whatever the case is. So they're definitely finding that out.
What can Trey's ability to stretch the floor mean for you, too? Because he can be a threat to make that pick and pop three. I assume. What does that mean for your spacing? If he makes it.
Yeah, Trey's proven he can shoot the ball. So I think ultimately now it's pick your poison. Are you going to let us get downhill, or are you going to make us kick it out? And with 4 or 5 guys on the floor at all times that can shoot threes, most of them over 40%, it's real tough to guard. So just however we're mixing in actions, whatever PJ's calling is what we're going to run and what we're going to execute.
You guys are now the veterans of the group, but how do you embrace that leadership? How do you guide the freshmen?
Yeah, I kind of accept it because that's what I want to be. I want to be a good leader and a good teammate. So for me, it's just another thing for me to try to get good at and work at. And just like my basketball skills, you got to work at that, being a good leader. So for me, I enjoy it and just trying to help these younger guys out. And then obviously me and Fletcher understand what it takes to get to the best point possible for a college basketball game. So I mean, just having that along with us. So.
What did you guys learn about yourself during the run last year?
Yeah, I think you learn a lot. It starts with failure, losing to FDU in the first round, and just realizing that you think right when you're at the top, you're just not, and you got to get better. And I think with that, having failed and having to learn from it, and Coach Painter still trusting us to go out there and do it again, it means a lot to us. But it also just shows how much you got to work and how much time you got to put into it. And it's a game, but it's also a job at this point. And I think when you can go in every day and get better every single day, and then convince your teammates to do the same, you got something special.
How much you guys talk about like your shot diet? What taking good twos, taking a lot of threes, taking those catch and shoot threes. Like how big a part of that is this like ecosystem?
Yeah, no. Paint talks about it all the time. Just take your shot. Don't be mad about misses. Like if you're open, that's your shot, and that's what you work on. Then take it. And I think we've all done a real good job with that. I don't think we have anybody on our team ever since I've been at Purdue that has forced shots or taken bad shots on purpose consistently. So I think they do a pretty good job with that, and we're all able to just what we work on, get to those spots, and make those shots that we take.
Can you talk about David Jenkins and Lance Jones, what they did for you in your first 2 years to get you to the point where you're ready to take over this team and lead it?
Yeah, they were huge for us. Starting off, Dave came in and he accepted a backup point guard role to Braden, a freshman that came in, wasn't highly ranked. So to see a guy that's a veteran that's been around the game go do that, it shows how good of a teammate you can be, how good of a guy you can be to sit there and play a little bit here and there, but also to go watch a guy start over you. It's not easy, but that builds trust and it builds character within the team, and that's huge. And then Lance coming in, not really expecting a whole lot, not sure if he's going to be the backup point guard, but how hard he worked to start at the 2 position, 2, 3, kind of we played 3 guards. So just showing how you got to work for something. It's not handed to you. He came out and worked for it, and he showed up with a smile on his face every day. He went through a very tough time at the beginning of the season with his dad passing away, and just showing like how much it can mean as a teammate to have the other guys around you and there to support you, also with the goal to go win. And so him showing up every day with a smile on his face and pushing us to still be excited to go play basketball was huge.
Braden, how important was it having that third ball handler out there last year with Lance? Can you guys have that this year with one of the 2 freshmen playing with both you guys?
Yeah, no, it was big time. Just with people denying, people pressuring, give me a little bit of a break, give Lance a break, give Fletcher a break, whatever it is. But we're able to have other guys bring up the ball, and I trust all these guys, and they trust me. So I think this year, like Chikari or CJ or whoever the other guards are in there, that's going to be that third ball handler. I think we're very comfortable with that, and I think it's going to be a huge help down the stretch. I think you guys saw a lot of it. Just running the floor, using their athletic ability, being able to stretch the floor as well because they can shoot the crap out the ball. So just those 2 things, and then just defensively, I think they're both really good defenders. So being able to guard those bigger 3s, maybe 2s here and there, just to come in and do those little things for us.
How much of a concern is rebounding?
Yeah, it's been talked about a lot. Obviously, you're losing a guy that had 10 to 15 rebounds a game, a guy that took up a lot of space and oftentimes boxed out 2 guys went once. So when you got a guy that rebounded that well and you got to make up for those rebounds coming forward, it's just that much more of an emphasis on us guards boxing out, us guards hitting and go getting the rebound, and everyone else just doing their job.
Braden, how is Fletcher better this year in ways that will align with his increased usage, increased role out on the tournament?
Yeah, no, I think Fletcher's done a great job just accepting his role. I think like maybe these first 2 years he didn't get all the shots that he's wanted, but I think this year he's able to get the ball more, and I'm able to get out of my hands for him to go make a play because he's a great player and can shoot the crap out the ball. So being able to have him come off butlers, come off screens to shoot shots. I mean, he shoots contested shots and makes it because that's what he works on every single day. So we're all comfortable with it, and we're all good with it because when you put in work and consistency over time, we all kind of believe and trust in it.
That's kind of the same thing. How are you better this year?
How am I better? Yeah, I would just say more confidence in knowing what it takes to be a great player. I think that for your freshman year, you're kind of just looking for a way to stay on the floor and help your team win. And then next year, obviously, a few less shots just because Lance played such a huge role for us. And then now being able to step into a role where you can be a second, third leading scorer, help a team go win national championship. It's something that you really want to do and you look forward to, but also when you stay process-based and focus on just helping your team win. Cool.